Hi there. Welcome to my pickups video for April 2021. Like I say every month, I don't think I collect that much, but apparently I do because I just put my entire stack that I bought for April, and I was like, this is a lot more than I thought. I was able to get a mix of old and new things. I'm pretty sure this stack is mostly PlayStation titles because of the whole PSN shutting down kind of scare thing going on. So a lot of these are going to be PlayStation 3 stuff. But yeah, it's a pretty good stack of games. A good chunk of these games are for the PlayStation 3 because of the whole PlayStation Network shutting down thing happening, which was called off, and that's why I got a bunch of PlayStation 3 games. But even though they did postpone the closing of the PlayStation 3 store and the PS Vita store, that doesn't mean in the future they will eventually do it. So it might not be within a year or two, but within like 5 years or maybe, 6 years, they're not going to be supporting the PlayStation 3 anymore. It'll only be the PlayStation 4 platform and the PlayStation 5. So I went ahead and started getting a bunch of games for it. I kind of slowed, or at least extended the time period I had in order to collect some of these games. Which is good, which is perfect, because there's so much stuff coming out right now. In April, holy crap, there's a lot of good games coming out right now. Well, let's just get started with my stack of games that I've got. The first one I got is this guy. This is Monster Hunter Rise Collector's Edition. This one comes with the amiibo inside of it. I actually didn't pre-order this right away because I'm not a big Monster Hunter kind of guy, and I didn't really see these out there, and I didn't really think I wanted one until I saw I think it was RG85. He had his, and I was like, dude, that looks actually really cool, because you don't normally see amiibos like that. That's a pretty cool feature. Like, this guy's way bigger than your normal amiibo, and it comes in this cool box. And Monster Hunter Rise is like suited for Nintendo Switch game, where like you pick it up, play it for like 15 minutes, and put it down again. And yeah, like I wanted to jump into this series, so I was like, hey, I might as well just start here. Although I did play a little bit Monster Hunter World on the Xbox, but to each his own. I actually I do like this collector's edition, and yeah, it's interesting to see how they utilize the RE engine, which is like it's the same engine that runs like RE7, Resident Evil 2 Remake, and RE3 Remake, and how they adapted it for the Switch. So a lot of videos are like, it's actually pretty well done. It's pretty stable. So yeah, kind of wanted to check it out. So yeah, I grabbed this guy. I'm gonna hold off opening on it because I want to see how far like pricing goes for it, because they're going really high as far as like collectability goes. So I got a couple of actually brand new PlayStation Vita games. The first one I got is Soul Sacrifice. There's also Soul Sacrifice Delta, but I didn't see any of these for sale, so I think I grabbed these off of Amazon. So that's the first one. The next one is Freedom Wars. Freedom Wars is by the same development studio, Sony Japan Studios, and so this is one of their last games that they made for the PlayStation Vita. So I wanted to grab this one, and they were relatively cheap. I think each one of these was like $10 to $15, brand new, off of the seller that I got it off of from Amazon. So I was like, for brand new games, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I heard these weren't the greatest games, but as far as like collectability goes, I mean, like, this is pretty cool. So these are officially the second and third PlayStation Vita, physical Vita games that I have. And the first one was the Luminous one that Jason donated to me earlier last month. So yeah, get excited to play these kinds of things. It's like super funny because I've never owned PlayStation Vita games, and I normally know the weight and like the size of games, but when I hold these in my hand, it's like so weird because I never owned a PlayStation Vita, so it's a really weird form factor to hold in my hands. Anyway, I got that. Some other PlayStation 3 games that I got Drakengard 3. This is brand new, although it sucks because you could hear the disc is walking. Ugh, I hate when that happens. So I got this for I want to say $30, $35. I don't remember quite right. But yeah, if you don't know, this is the same studio that just released the brand new Nier Replicant game, which is a remake of Nier back in like 2010. So, but yeah, they made this game prior. And I wanted to check it. I always wanted to check it out. what's really interesting about this one is that, like, you see this blue branding for the PlayStation 3 here. This is normally reserved for PlayStation 4 titles, and it was interesting that they started with that kind of scheme here on the physical box. That's pretty interesting. I've never really heard about anything about this game other than I know I really wanted to try it out. I just like for this generation, I didn't have a lot of time to try out a lot of the newer types of games, or at least risk my time being devoted to those types of games. So yeah, I was like, no, I'll pick it up. It's part of like a reputable studio. Not a lot of those exist out in the world, so I was like, yeah, I'll take that one. Next one here is PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale. If you don't know, this is the Smash Brothers ripoff from Sony. It's not very well made, I heard. I still wanted to always play it though, because I loved all the characters inside of it. But like, yeah, because it's like a Sony Santa Monica Studios game. Same guys that made God of War. But like, yeah, it wasn't really well received. But I mean, geez, like, look at that roster. Roster could actually be better, but the fact that you get to play as like Ratchet, Sackboy, and like Kratos is pretty awesome in this type of game. And Fat Princess and Sly. that's pretty cool. Like, the main reason why I got this guy is because there's a lot of DLC tied to this that is stuck on the PlayStation 3 network store. So I'm trying to download all of those in order for me to utilize that, I need a disc like this. So yeah, I mean, you could buy the digital copy inside of PSN, but like I said, I like physical copies. So yeah, I want to jump into this game. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I got Killzone 3. I played Killzone 1, hated it. I played Killzone 2, I don't like it too much. But I heard this one was pretty decent, because, I don't know, it's like Sony first-person shooters aren't like the greatest. They're okay. But I mean, they're pretty decent. They made 4 of these Killzone games, so there's got to be something there. So yeah, I decided I wanted to grab this one because I never played Killzone 3 before. Out of all the Killzones, I never even finished any of them. But like, I'll at least give this one a shot. I did try Killzone 4 for the PlayStation 4, but I was like, this is okay. But yeah, I wanted to see how, like, the difference between a late generation PlayStation 3 game versus like a PlayStation 4 game, like the first generation, because I heard this one was like graphically very, very, very impressive. So yeah, I just grabbed this one. I think it was like $8. So yeah, like, yeah, I'll get that one. Continuing the trend of Sony first-person shooters, I picked up the entire Resistance trilogy. Insomniac Games, wonderful guys over there. If you haven't seen the new Ratchet and Clank trailer, oh my god, go watch that thing. It's insane what they're doing in Insomniac Games, my god. Anyway, before their Spider-Man days, well, in between their Spider-Man days and their Ratchet and Clank days, they had the Resistance games for the PlayStation 3 generation. So I think I remember playing the first Resistance. But because like there were so many other, it looked like so many other World War II games at the time, like I was kind of turned off on it. Although I know, which is so stupid because this is a completely alternate reality. I understand that this is a completely alternate reality type of game with aliens, and like it has the weaponry kind of innovation from the Ratchet from the Ratchet game. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty stupid. But like I just like, if I'm going to play a first-person shooter, I'd rather devote my time somewhere else. So that's why I kind of overlook this series. But it's actually a very, very good series. I played halfway through this one, just never got to finish it. So I picked this up again. I picked up Resident Evil. I picked up Resistance 2 also. Relatively cheap, $8, like I said. And Resistance 3. So what's really interesting that when I was picking these up, I remember like this is the time when PlayStation 3 online play was actually free for the time. So you could play. There's like no network charge, no monthly charge to be online, and you could chat with your friends and everything. So that was a very interesting time to live in. Although I mean, that's, to me, not being able to pay for online play is kind of unsustainable because you have to manage servers and everything like that. So you could only go so far with it. And it was true, because like PlayStation Network was very limited. PlayStation Online play was super limited at the time compared to an Xbox Live experience. Yeah, that was a very interesting time to be a PlayStation gamer. Not only was the online play for free, what other differences were there? Oh yeah, you didn't have to install like these discs for so long. Some of them you could like pop in like right away and just start playing. Which is like a bygone era compared to these today's modern games. But I got the whole trilogy now, so I could go and play them again. All right, there's that stack. I also went into GameStop. I think these are both. No, this is just this one. So I went into GameStop and I picked up this. This is Golem for the PlayStation VR headset. I heard this sucked. I heard this is awful. But it was $10, and then I have a rewards card. And I had a monthly thing, so it was like down to like, I think it was like $4.50. I picked this up for $4. What's really cool is that this is made by Highwire Games. So it sucks that this wasn't a very, huge success. But I like the guys at Highwire Games. Those are some ex-Bungie guys from the Halo 1 through 3 days. Or Halo 1 through Reach days, and so like I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. I'll check it out for what they got. And I'm like I said, I'm trying to collect for the PlayStation VR right now, because there's not that many for North American releases. So I'm getting there very slowly. I'm not how you say it, going out of my way to pick up a lot of PlayStation VR games right now, because eventually there's going to be like a successor to the original 1.0 hardware. So expect a really good PlayStation 5 VR experience coming sometime in the next generation. Alright, next one. I picked up Knack II from Half Price Books. I played Knack 1, love that game. I mean, it's just one of those like kids games you have a lot of fun in. Like they're not ultimately challenging. They're just like, you just want to see the creativeness in a lot of in these types of games. Backed by Mark Cerny, the lead architect for the PlayStation hardware for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Like, yeah, we always make the jokes. I'm sure you've seen Donkey make his own jokes, and you have that soundbite living in your mind. So yeah, never played it. Never played Knack 2. I'll get around to playing this one. Not high priority on my list. Another one that I completely forgot about this guy. This is Onimusha 2. I played Onimusha 1 and 3, never 2. So yeah, I kind of wanted to, because I have my PlayStation 2 dug out now. I wanted to just like mess around with this game now that I have a setup for it. And yeah, I loved 3 because it has like the best characters. But this guy, I mean, this is like, if you see the likeness, he's a famous Japanese celebrity. Actually, let me look up his name. Yeah, so his name is Yusaka Matsuda. He's a famous Japanese celebrity. We have no real media that we know of him from here in the States, in Western culture. But I thought that was really cool. And Capcom really upgraded their system from 1 to 2 for this guy. So yeah, I wanted to check this guy out. Oh yeah. So I think this is my first Japanese import game that I ever got for PlayStation 3. So here we go. This is Siren, New Translation. This is a horror survival game for the PlayStation 3, made by Sony Japan. And so, like, they didn't have a physical release of this here in the United States. So check that out. And it's also called something different here. So we had a downloadable version of this here, but I wanted this one in physical form. Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't even look at the binding yet. And yeah, I imported this from Amazon Japan, I believe, and it was only like $30, which isn't too bad, plus shipping. And it comes with like its booklet and everything. What's really interesting is that, I mean, considering this is a Japanese game, there's a lot of English in here, so I could really understand like what's going on. A lot of character profiles are in here. Like, yeah, there's like episode select screens and whatnot. So yeah, I don't think it's that hard to understand really what's going on. I could probably use a sort of If there's like a cutscene, I could probably go onto YouTube and just watch the English version if I can't understand what the hell's going on in context. So yeah, I wanted to check this guy out. Another import game I really want to get is Rain for the PlayStation 3 in physical form. So, and the nice thing about PlayStation 3 is that there's no region lockouts for the game, so you could just play whatever the heck you want from all kinds of territories and not be bothered at all. You don't have to worry about any region lockout stuff. Okay, next, second to last pile. This stack of games came from this one cool guy here in Oakland. He was selling each one of these games individually, and I asked him, I was like, hey, if I buy 3 of them off of you, like, will you be willing to like give me a small little discount, squishy discount? And I only asked for like 10%, which, like, you know, it's not that big of a deal, but like I was like, I'm still collecting for all of this stuff. I told him like I'm trying to preserve a lot of these gaming systems for the time being, and he thought that was kind of cute. I'm not ashamed of any of that. So I went for 3 games, but then he showed me he had a whole other stack of Dreamcast games, and he's like, I'll give you another discount if you pick out any one of these guys. I picked up a 4th one. So originally what got me to the sale is this guy right here. This is Crazy Taxi 2, the successor to the much beloved Crazy Taxi. This one, they put the only the most unique feature that they put in this game is that your taxis can jump now. They put a jump button inside of your car. Other than that, it was pretty fun. The cities weren't as interesting as the San Francisco city in the first game. And the open world city in the first game, but you had New York City. You had what other place was there? I don't know. It was okay. Like, it wasn't that. It was more like Crazy Taxi 1.5 instead of Crazy Taxi 2, or could have been at least an add-on. So yeah, I love this one. I always remember playing this at my buddy David's house after school, and yeah, it was a pretty good time. The other games that I saw was Maken X. Yeah, it's really hard to find a really good copy of this game. A lot of these are really ratty. This gentleman, he kept these all in really, really good condition. So yeah, I really love this stuff in here. The booklet's really nice. Like, it feels like this is brand new. So yeah, I'm glad I think he gave me a really major discount on this one. He wasn't really listing this for that much. Crazy Taxi was like pretty on par of market price, but Maken X wasn't. This other one, man, I really have a hard time finding this guy. This is Samba de Amigo. This is a maracas game, like maraca rhythm game, and they ported it over to Nintendo Wii, which makes a ton of sense. But there was like actual maracas you had to plug into your Dreamcast for this guy, and this thing was like colorful, fun, just like any other Sonic Team game you would normally play. But like the fashion, the reason why I like this one is like, yeah, it's super clean. Like, this guy really took care of these games. So, and I could tell he was kind of a semi-collector of really, really good stuff for his children mostly. But yeah, I mean, this is in really good shape. So yeah, grabbed 3 of these, and I was expecting to pay, what was the, like a 120, something like that. And then and that was including the discount he gave me. So I was like, yeah, that's perfectly fine for the condition that these games came in and the rarity of them. That's pretty good for 3 Dreamcast games. But he had this 4th game that I picked up. This is Floigan Brothers Season 1, implying that there was going to be more, or Episode 1, implying there's going to be more of these games. But this is one of the last games they made for the Dreamcast, like before the whole thing was completely canceled, and when Peter Moore said oh, no more Dreamcasts. So yeah, I was like, cool. Like, I've never found this like in real life. I've never seen it actually in real life, and the condition that this is in is actually really, really good. So he tossed it in there for, I think, it was like $10. So yeah, all in all, I got 4 Dreamcast games for a really, really good price. And like, why not? They're Dreamcast games. The Dreamcast library has definitely softened in price. Thankfully, it's not as hot as it used to be, because now I'm able to go back and start collecting again for it. My goal is to have 100% Dreamcast collection, physical Dreamcast collection, which is probably impossible now because some freaking people just like go ridiculous with the price of some Dreamcast games. Like Project Justice is one of the harder ones. Cannon Spike, oh my god. What's another one? Bang Bangio, something like that. Oh my god, those are just insane prices for those games, and it's like I like collecting things, but there's like a point where the rationality isn't worth it. So, but yeah, I'm trying to get at least close to 100%. We'll see for that. There's also reproduction, and I could also burn those games. So if I want to like really in my mind make that goal, I can do it that way. It's not technically the real way, but it's a possibility. Last thing that I got, very special item. I'm super excited. I won the auction for this guy. Okay, this came in the mail 4 days ago. 3 days. I haven't opened it yet. Yes. All right. I'm happy I won this auction. Okay, so this. I haven't owned an OG Xbox in over, I don't know. It's been a long time, 15 years. But I always wanted the Halo edition, translucent green one. These have not been cheap lately. They probably hover around $200 to $300. This one is in kind of ratty shape. I heard when I did the auction for this, the tray doesn't work on here. So I could fix that. I think I know how to fix that in my mind. Also, there's a big crack up here for the casing. I don't know what freaking guy dropped that thing on there. I don't know if you see that. It's huge. This big old thing right here. So I could fix that too. And since it's translucent, it's not as noticeable on this guy. But yeah, wow, I forgot how heavy these things were. Jesus Christ. What's good is that this person, they started to try to do a repair. I don't think they actually went and did it because the feet are still intact. They definitely got rid of the barcode, excuse me. The rubber feet are still intact, so they didn't try to mod it, or they didn't try to do anything crazy with it. They just removed the sticker for the serial number. Oh, it smells weird. You know, if like you don't know what like electronics smell like, they smell kind of funky. But yeah, overall it's relatively clean. Yeah, there's some stuff to clean in here. I definitely see a lot of corrosion. We could definitely mix around with that thing. But yeah, the number one issue to address with this guy is the tray, which I heard is relatively easy. The rubber band in there kind of snaps or is inelastic, so the retraction of the tray doesn't work sometimes. So yeah, I'm really happy. I got this for $120. And even if I don't use this, I'll have it like on display, like back here, because translucent technology is really fun. So I'm really happy that I finally got this Halo special edition. So I've had this for like a long time. I just always was waiting to find the console to pair it to. So these two things combined, like, oh yes, I have a complete Halo system, a Halo special edition Xbox system. So yeah, I'm excited about this. I have a bunch of old OG Xbox games that I've been wanting to replay. I'm sure the problem of this is not that bad. Even if it were, it's not that big of a deal to me. I just like having this OG display. For my computer graphics class back in high school, I actually modeled one of these systems, which is super nerdy now that I think about it. But yeah, that's basically what I did. I love the OG Xbox. This is one of my favorite systems growing up. Mainly because it's the Dreamcast 2. Once the Dreamcast died, all the Sega properties, a lot of them went to the Xbox. And I was like, okay, I'll support this thing. I also wanted a really high-end PC at the time, but I could never afford it. So this was like the next closest thing, because it was eventually going to get Half-Life 2 and like Doom 3, which would never be able to run like on a console before, realistically. This is a really excellent find. I'm glad I was able to get this at such a low price, because even if this is kind of broken, I could get it to the point where it's still cheaper than a functioning one at these auction prices right now, because they're like $300+. So yeah, and with the Halo Infinite game coming out, like this is the perfect time just to like have my Halo stuff displayed around me. It's gonna be hopefully a great occasion. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you keep collecting. All right, peace out. Bye.